Good morning, traders. I'm Dennis Dick.
And I'm Joel Elconin. Welcome to Pre-Market Info.
Your double top theory might be falling apart here, Joel, today. The E-mini, they're taking off and making a new high on the move.
Well, it closed in very strong right up near there, so it had a lot of momentum to get through it. Who knows where the resistance is, but I expect a little bit slower volume today and tomorrow, and for sure next Thursday and Friday.
We've got other stocks here. One moving down today, which doesn't usually move down, is Amazon. Actually getting a downgrade at JP Morgan here, Joel.
Aren't you going to ask me why we're going to have slower volume?
Uh-oh. Why are we going to have slower volume?
March Madness.
Oh, March Madness. Oh, yeah.
Wake up there. Got the Big Ten
That's that flu
tournament
thing I
today
keep forgetting.
Tomorrow.
Yeah,
We
March
got the Big Ten
Madness.
tournament today and tomorrow, and then next week the actual March Madness starts. So
This is the pre-tournament
surprised you
coming
missed
up,
that.
right? The pre-tournament, right?
Well, the Big Ten tournament is starts today,
Yep.
and then next week you have the March Madness in full swing. So I expect traders to be paying a lot more attention to their brackets than the markets.
There you go. I think you can make a little bit of money there if you can't make it. Maybe go into your brackets and make your money there if you can't make it in the markets. There'll be volatility in those brackets, that's for sure. Amazon trading down here, Joel. Down $5 this morning on a downgrade from JP Morgan. Trading at 269.76 after closing at 275.10. You can see off the pre-market chart. Not pretty here this morning for Amazon.
Got down to 268.33, getting a little bounce there. Minor resistance at the 270 level. Do you think, like, when an analyst walks in, like, to their meetings in the mornings, and he actually says he's going to downgrade a stock, do you think that they look at him like he's absolutely crazy?
It's crazy.
I mean, who's downgrading stocks now, right?
Wow. And it's a very bold call here too with a stock like Amazon, because you can look at this from a valuation perspective, obviously, and it's been ridiculously valued forever. I mean, the momentum has just carried the stock. It is a little bit concerning that it is trading through that key 270. Now, we had that double bottom from 2 or 3 days ago there in the low 270s, so we did take that out here in the pre-market. There is quite a bit of air now below that 270 level.
Yeah, 33,000 shares have traded so far in this issue. Not a lot to knock it down $5. Keep an eye on that pre-market low. It's 68.33. I think this 270 is a good swing number. You get back above there, you could easily fill the gap up to 72.64. The only thing I don't like under this 270 level is you had this big up day where you just blew from 265 to 270.
Yep.
So not great reference points if you're playing it short through the 270 level. Just throw out straight bids, at the half and whole numbers, and all the way down to this low of 264.14 on March 4th.
BlackBerry, what an afternoon it had there yesterday, getting a huge lift in the afternoon and then just continuing to run here this morning. Bring up yesterday's chart there if you can, Joel. We'll check out the trading action. Was reported that a partner is buying 1 million BlackBerry smartphones. That's a huge order, obviously, for BlackBerry here, if that's true. And the stock lifted and it just took off there about 20 minutes before the close. It's trading down at 14.35, closing up at 15.65, continuing to run here this morning, up another 37 cents at 16.02.
Yeah, I guess me trading in one BlackBerry for an Apple, for an iPhone on Friday is not as important as someone ordering 1 million BlackBerries. But you're getting a nice lift here in the pre-market. Your spike highs in the stock have taken you up to 16.30, so that's your resistance. Just hovering above the $16 level. This is the pre-market. If you're playing it from the long side and it cuts through there, then you're going to have to go to yesterday's range to get a look at this stock. Closed right on the high, 15.65 close, 15.70 was the high. That would fill the gap. Not a lot of reference points here between 16 and 17. So if you're playing it to that 16.30 level, you may be looking for a cover, shortly above 16.5.
And if they're buying BlackBerries, they're obviously not buying iPhones. So if you bring up yesterday afternoon's chart of Apple, it did start to show weakness right when that was announced, actually. If you look at yesterday's chart, you can see that downswing there just in the Apple. But Apple is lifting back up here this morning. There's always headlines, but they did put to get a patent on an iPhone smart cover. So they applied for a patent on an iPhone smart cover. I'm not sure if that's the main reason this thing's lifting $5 here or not, but it is getting a pop here this morning.
Yeah, the news algos probably overshot this a little bit. It's not like the people that are buying the million Blackberries are, throwing out their iPhones to do this. So I don't, it's not that huge of a deal. We got a good reference point right now, right where we're trading here in Apple. We got a pre-market high just under 435. Actually, that high is 434.60. If you go to your charts or your levels here, 434.50 was Wednesday's high. So we're knocking on the door here above Wednesday's high. You do have some room up to the double top from Monday and Tuesday at the 439 area. So we'll see if Apple can get through this area. Well, I don't know. It just seems like the momentum on the downside is starting to slow down a little bit, Dennis.
Yeah, well, it is. We've had here now, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days where we've consolidated between that 419, 435 area. Eventually, it's going to break out one way or another, really. I guess we've got as high as 439, but really in a 20-point range here for the last 8 trading sessions after, obviously, the big down cut through the 450s. So it's trying to find a bottom, and it keeps getting lifts, and obviously there keeps continuing to be rumors of a special dividend, other things. This thing's trading on headlines more than it is on technicals, really. It's like, headline comes out, it looks like it's good for Apple, they buy it up $5-6. Oh, BlackBerry's got, get a million share or a million cell phone order, and they sell it off $5. It's really trading off of headlines right now. So it's very hard to trade it technically when it's just so headline related here. Moving on, though, Joel, we got some other stocks in the news. Men's Warehouse MW reported earnings here last night. They actually matched, lost a nickel. We're supposed to lose a nickel. Guidance was in line kind of for the full year. 270 to 280 versus 277. Did announce a 200 million share buyback there. So Men's Warehouse actually lifting quite substantially here this morning. It's up over 10%.
You've been buying some new suits or something?
Man, I need new suits.
On, huh?
I need new suits. Maybe they know I'm gonna buy new suits. I'm not sure.
Okay, 33.45 is what we hit in the pre-market. We are just hovering up there. 17,000 shares have moved this stock $4. Let's go to the daily. I mean, I'm sure we're gonna find some resistance here somewhere. Let's see, what do we found here? 33.30, 33.32, 33.31, multiple lows here
Highs,
at the end of January in the 33 area. That's where we're bumping up against. If you're looking to exit some longs here from even holding on to down here, you have a reference point. Once you break above that area, if you can break above that area, you do have a high at 34.18. Going back to November of last year. But this is one you really want to keep an eye on at like 925, 926, 927, to see where it's trading and what the actual high is. If you're buying this off the open, don't fall in love with it.
It's tricky too, obviously getting a huge lift here, but when a stock goes this hard, it's hard to pick the top where it's going to eventually turn here. So watch the pre-market levels, obviously, watch those highs, because sometimes the high in the pre-market can indicate where it may top out in the regular session as well. E-Trade Financial, ETFC, getting sold off here actually. Citadel is dumping their position in E-Trade, announcing a secondary offering to dump that position. Stock is trading down substantially on that news. $11.20 it's at right now after $11.82. This actually had just broken out to a new high on the move, but Citadel is taking this opportunity to get the hell out of their shares.
You don't know where they bought it, do you? Not to tell you.
I think, no, I don't actually. I don't know where they've accumulated E-Trade, but you got to think about the background behind this too. They buy E-Trade, get shares for order flow because they can buy and E-Trade. There was a part of the deal, I think, when they were putting capital into E-Trade was that E-Trade was supposed to send Citadel order flow, which obviously, it's attractive to trade against E-Trade customers, I guess, Citadel. But now all of a sudden, that contract is over, and I don't think E-Trade send Citadel any order flow anymore. So that's one of your main reasons that
Okay.
E-Trade is, or Citadel's getting rid of E-Trade. I mean, if they're not sending them order flow, what do we need to own the stock for? So
Okay.
so
All
that's a
right.
little
That makes
background.
sense.
You know, they don't say that stuff on CNBC, but that's a little bit of background into market structure, and that's probably one of the main reasons that they're actually dumping the stock.
Okay, just technically, the spike here just a few minutes ago took us down to 11.06. We're trading just a little bit above that. I don't know if you have the price of the secondary or not, but let's look at this $11 level just as a minor support point. You had a low at 10.94 just a few days ago on March 7th. A couple other lows backing that up at 10.84, 10.86. Let's just call that whole 10.90 number. I mean, if you've been shorting this thing since 10.50 all the way up here to near $12, quick coming in, quick 60, 70 cents for you. There might be support coming in 11. 500,000 shares have traded so far.
J.C. Penney also got a lift there yesterday. Ackman actually came out, kind of defended his position, said he still likes the stock as a long. It's getting initiated by a BTIG here this morning too, so it is getting some follow through. It's up another 30 cents here in the pre-market, trading at 16.02. So J.C. Penney showing a little bit of life here.
Yep, you did get a high in the pre-market at 16.30. I think we mentioned this yesterday, though. This $16 level is just really big here. You had a high, you snuck above it yesterday.
Try and take it out.
Close kind of weak. I think you J.C. Penney fans, you got to get above and hold that 16 for a couple days, and then you know what the chart looks like up here between 16 and 18. You don't have a lot of reference points, but it's going to take more than Ackman talking his position to get J.C. Penney off the mat.
Eli Lilly's getting a lift here this morning too. There's no news directly to Lilly, but the FDA, New York Times reporting the FDA may relax their criteria for Alzheimer's drug approval. Obviously, we've been talking about the Lilly on the show that they do have that Alzheimer's drug that they're trying to, get to the market. It's speculated, it's tough to get approvals on those things. But this drug, if they ever got this to approval, it's worth some big money to Lilly. It could be a blockbuster drug for them. So any type of news where they might relax criteria is obviously good for the stock. It is lifting up on very light volume here, only 2,000 shares,
very light.
but it's traded 55.60. And I think if you're analyzing this from a tape perspective, this $55 has been absolutely enormous for Lilly here for the last 5-6 trading sessions, and is trying to lift here and break out this morning.
Yeah, we were talking about that 55 as support, but now what you're doing, you're getting this bump here, and I'm glad that you mentioned to our listeners it's only 2,000 shares having the stock up 1%, 54 cents. 55.74, that's the number you want to look at. That was a high on March 5th. On the 6th, you had a high of 55.67. So you are opening up into some monster resistance here because you only have 2,000 shares. Also, just because they're relaxing, the approvals for Alzheimer's drugs doesn't mean that Lilly's drug's the one that's going to get approved. So, just looking at the technicals, you got to be aware of that 55.74 level. Probably some paper kicking around at 56 as well. Looking at longer term, Lilly's just been on a march.
Yeah, it's been on a march, but be aware if it does take out those highs. This drug, obviously, I think this is really good news for Lilly. I really do. I think something like this could possibly continue and could get some more momentum here going the day. So I almost think, a bet could come on here, Joel, because I think this thing could actually take off here today. I think we could see, potentially and break out over that $56 level before we go back to 55.
Here. Okay. I mean, do you want to check to see if it's going ex-dividend tomorrow or something?
I know. You cheat me on that ex-dividend stuff on that Merck bet we had.
I say we don't close above 56 today.
It's hard, though, because it's at 55.60, so that's obviously already in your favor. So, it's a bold call.
Okay.
I'd like a little bit more.
I say it trades...
It's at 55.60 right now, and that's on light volume. It closed at 55.06. I'm saying it's going to take 56 before 55. Will you take that?
How about 55.30 versus 55.90?
Well, yeah, I'll take that for sure.
Okay.
So 55.
So it's 30 cents each way.
So yeah, well, 55.60 is on 100 shares though. So we don't count the pre-market action though, because it could just take 100 shares there. During the regular
Okay.
session, I say it ticks
No
55.
bet. I'm out. I'm out.
Ah,
I'm
you
out.
wanted to get me on
You're
that one
too
tick that
wish-washy.
it's going to tick here in a minute or something to 55.30. Let's move on here. We do these side bets here, and you're trying to rip me off again. Coca-Cola
Yeah,
getting an upgrade.
Bates says you're HFTing me.
That's
Is
what
what
I'm
you're
trying to
doing.
do. Step in front of him here.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola, CLSA giving it an upgrade here today. Actually getting a pretty good lift on it for Coke, up 25 cents here in the pre-market, 38.85 after closing at 38.59. Obviously, Coke went ex-dividend there. I think it was yesterday. So it was down there just with the ex-dividend, but is getting a lift back up. Tell you, $39 looks big to me on this stock.
Yeah, 38.87 is what you hit on in the pre-market. 8,000 shares have traded. Haven't looked at a daily at Coke in a long time here. Don't see as much as that at that $39 level. It's been traded through there a few times, so I would look at that as a round number, nice resistance. I'd still the number if this upgrade is going to carry any weight here. Really, the target point for me would be the three highs between 38.31 and 39.42. It's really where the first major resistance comes in at Coca-Cola for me. And since we're talking about Coke, let's just take a look at the Pepsi chart, see how that's doing. Not much of an upgrade, doing much effect here.
Zero.
77.39, 77.41 is a double top here if you're playing the Pepsi off the Coke upgrade.
Looking here at an eBay chart, bring this one up. This has been actually quietly one of your weaker stocks here in the last basically month. Like, look at that. Basically everything's been moving up, making new highs, and eBay just continues to disappoint here, actually turning around and making new lows. Is getting an upgrade here this morning at Evercore, and that is popping the stock up 77 cents here. But wow, a lot of weakness, relative weakness here in eBay lately.
The analyst at Evercore was waiting for this gap to be filled here, and it did. It did come in, did get a fill. Traded yesterday, made a low of the move at 50.62. So let's keep an eye on that level. Settled at 50.98. I mean, if you are trying to pick a bottom here, you really can't get too stubborn if this 50.90 level is taken out because you don't have any support until under 50. And then this is just a wash area here.
Yeah,
it's very hard to pick a resistance point. I really want to get too excited about the stock until we can get back above the $53 level.
Avon Products getting an upgrade too here at Stifel. It's actually not traded very much here. It's only traded 2,900 shares this morning. 2032 is where it just ticked to. Bid at 2042. Want to highlight this though because it is trying to break out and bid above the high that we had there from about 3 days ago at 2035.
Yep, correct. 2035 was the high. Things, open up just a little bit. Minor resistance at 2053. Really not seeing a lot up here until the $21 level. This stock is almost back to the level that the other company wanted to take it out at.
Yeah.
I can't think of what the smaller company was, but it's climbed back. It's had a march. If you're holding this on the long side, got a nice little trend line going up here. $21 would be a real nice target today to have the stock up almost a buck.
It's been a big year for Avon Products. Started the year down there in the $14, $15 area and been marching, obviously. And, so it's been a nice year here for
Lisa
Avon Products.
gets something from Avon. The Avon lady, Ding Dong, came over the other day, delivered something.
What'd you get? What'd she get?
I don't know what it was. Some kind of makeup that they only have. I think it was $11.42.
Stuff's cheap there, though, eh?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Cheap makeup, I guess. So I don't know. I'm not a big makeup fan. My wife isn't. We've never been a big Avon Products fan either. But either way, some people are buying that stuff because the stock's actually starting to perform quite well. Overall market thoughts here, Joel. Before we close the show, what's your take here? You saying before your double top theory was in, now we're starting to march up and make new highs here. What is going to bring the bears out of hibernation?
Ben Bernanke upping interest rates 2 points is the only thing that's going to shake this market from its lift. Looking on the upside, I'm just going to use the average daily range as targets, which is right now only around 12 points, so that would take you up to the 1561 level. Coming back on the downside, all those people that sold at 1551 and 1550, 150 are going to be putting their bids out there. So that's 3 points away from here. So that's going to be your support. And then of course you got to keep an eye on the overnight low, 1550. Well, the overnight low is 1549. That coincides with the close of 1550.
Well, that's our show for today, guys. Have a great trading session, and we will be back with you tomorrow.